Hello everyone, once again Alex and FH Dating here to share with you some useful information and one more happy couple that we helped to succeed. And we have here Carlos and we have Anna and now forever and ever friend Lucy to help us. And Carlos is going to let us understand how was the process between to come here alone or to come here with companies in groups and try to find who he was trying to find, and what happened when we met and when we started to cooperate together. So we will share with you all this process, and Carlos also will give us useful information that most of you want to know, is how we reach the end with a K1 visa on this process and difficulties and bureaucracies. So Carlos will share with us all that also. Okay, so the word is yours. I would like you to tell us how was your previous experience when you come by yourself, and how was your experience when we started to be together.
Okay. Well, my first experience to come to Ukraine was maybe just about 4 years ago, and I first came with a larger company that caters to several countries, and I signed in, and they arranged hotel stays and socials, and it was a good experience to just see different cities and meet different people, but I was not successful in really meeting anybody serious, because each location we would go to was only for a couple of days at a time, and the meetings were very quick, and it seemed that, for example, the socials were more of it was a good way to meet people, but not anything serious.
So you didn't know who was there?
Well, I had an option of inviting people that I was interested in, but hardly any of them would show up because they were either on vacation or too busy at work, or there was always some excuse. Mm-hmm. So they would invite other people that I didn't know anything about. So that's why it was difficult to find anything serious, because you're always trying to find somebody that you could have chemistry with, that was serious, just as serious as I was, in finding a good relationship. So anyway, after trying a couple of larger companies, after experiencing my stay in Poltava, for example, I learned of smaller companies that cater to specific cities, and that's one of the ways I ended up meeting you, and realized that maybe my chances were better if I dealt with a smaller company that actually knew the locals in that area and knew who was serious and who was not.
I knew this one.
So I think in that respect, it's always better to go with a local company, somebody that is more familiar with the clientele. Mm-hmm.
Is there any more specific characteristic that you can underline about the way of working with us? What make your life easier? The top 3 things that can make your success be faster and your guarantees be bigger? Besides the fact that we really know with whom we work, and we are confined to one city, that is Poltava. So obviously we know, I know Anna for many years, and I understood that she could be a good match for you, and as we understand was.
Well, of course, we met a few years ago, and but right away I could tell that you were always blunt. You were very honest, and I think honesty is key, because not only do you look out for your clientele for example, men coming here to meet somebody, but you're also trying to ensure that the women that here are also serious. So you're looking in both interests. And so I think number one thing was honesty and trust. And so I felt very comfortable. You never lied about making any big promises. You just always gave a realistic perspective. And you can't guarantee or make the women love the men that you're trying to cater to. And, I think a lot of other companies might try to give that false representation, saying, oh yes, these people are almost to the point of being desperate and are going to fall in love with you and everything's going to work out immediately. And it takes time. And of course, after meeting Anna, we've now known each other more than a year, and it's been a process. It's been an honest relationship, and
let me ask Anna what she thinks about to be with us in terms of we help her also as we help you.
Okay.
Ну, что я хочу спросить тебя, это он сказал у нас по поводу, как он чувствует работать со мной. Я помогал он найти тебя. Я тоже помогал тебе найти он. Что ты думаешь по поводу работать с агенцией, как наша дружба, наша система работы? Как ты чувствуешь нашу работу по поводу помогать девочка, как ты, например?
Так говорить, как думаю?
Да.
Ну, все другие агентства, они...
Mostly other agencies, they deal with the correspondence, writing letters, and they make money on this. So that when we join agencies, we never see the men, because they just write letters and never come. While here is different, because you don't have all that, and you actually bring real men here, we can actually see them and find our real love.
Можешь увидеть, поговорить с ним и полюбить его.
Carlitos, one more question I wanted to put. Did you felt the big difference upon the support of not be working with me as a company, but cooperating with me as friends for your quest to help you not only to find her, but how to deal with her, the mentality, the free times, how to spend the time? Did you feel that difference between the previous experience and this experience now?
Yes, and this ties into the previous question you just asked me, because you asked for three things, and I think I only gave you one reason, but the other difference while working with you is, and I can't speak for your other clients, but at least in my experience when working with you, it feels like an actual friendship, and more than just business. And whether you have this relationship with all your clients, I think it's only a plus. It's a bonus.
You enjoy that even when you're not here, right? When guys go back home and I stay here, I'm the bridge between them and between the girls on this case.
Yes, that was a big help. You were always available if I wrote to you from the States, if I had a question or a problem, or there was some misunderstanding.
That are natural.
Because cultural and language differences between Anna and myself, you or Lucy were always there to help us and get us through that obstacle, and it was a big help. Working with other agencies, the larger agencies have their small offices in all these cities, and there's a disconnect, and there's nobody that you could actually write or call to that's going to give you that one-on-one help. And so I felt that that was a very big benefit in working with you.
Other thing I would, because guys there for sure they want to know is, gladly you guys are just waiting to receive the passport to go back home. How long took this process?
Well, we did receive everything we need now, so we're ready actually to go back to the States.
You have the passport already?
Yes, I
With the
received
visa
that.
one?
Yes.
Уже получил?
Yes.
Ты не сказала мне?
У меня с собой.
I have it on me.
So when we decided to apply for Anna's visa, I've heard of people that try to do this on their own, and all the information you need is on the U.S. Embassy's website, and you could certainly fill out the documents yourself, but if you're not familiar with the language or the culture and the procedures, and I myself do have experience with the language and the culture, I was intimidated. I didn't feel comfortable doing this myself, and I wanted to make it easier not only for myself but for Anna. So I hired an attorney in the States.
Can we say that to hire an attorney in the States make it faster or just make it easier?
I don't think it makes it faster. I think it just makes it easier. In some cases, it might make it longer because depending on which attorney you hire, depending on their caseload, your case might be,
Can I ask you what is the cost about the lawyer to hold this process?
I'm trying to
On
recall
average.
the exact amount that I've paid, but of course it varies every time you add children. The first child is, I think, free, but it's kind of a strange thing. But I think I've paid about $1,200 so far, just for attorney fees, and then the visa, the application, that was probably an extra maybe $500 or $600, I think, and then the medical exam was I believe about $400 or $500, but that included, I believe that was the total price for two people, for Anna and her daughter.
Yes, it's something that is missing here that I didn't say at the beginning, is that Carlos is not going to marry only Anna. Carlos is going to marry Anna's lovely daughter that also will go to the United States with them. So that's why the process was not more complicated but more paperwork, because it's two persons.
But
Right.
yes, but so all these fees, most of it is, of course, to the U.S. government, and but just strict attorney fees is probably about between $1,000 to $1,200 or so that I've paid, and that just helps facilitate the paperwork and mailing the petitions to different agencies and the U.S. Embassy, and I chose to hire a firm that had people that spoke Russian, but I hope it helped Anna, but I don't think it's necessary. I think any attorney that you find has a good reputation will be able to be just as helpful.
Did you, for example, how did you feel the interview itself? As I know, you were not even needed to be inside to testify nothing. They make interview to one, and you just stay aside.
Well, I think you might want to ask Anna.
Yes, I will ask.
Yes, but she may say that the biggest benefit of me being there was I don't think she had to wait in line to get into the embassy.
Yes,
Once they
that is a nice trick, is that Anna went to make the medical exams alone before, and then when there was the interview at the embassy, and Carlos was already here to support, and if Carlos would not be there, Anna would wait on the line, because how many people were there to make interview?
I think they have groups of so many people every 15 minutes.
So I was thinking that they would make an interview booked for each hour one person, but as I understand, they jump from one office to the other to fulfill paperwork, and the interview was made standing at the bar.
For those watching from the States, it reminded me of going to apply for your driver's license at the motor vehicle department. You go in, once you're inside, they give you a ticket for a number, and then it tells you which window to go to, and then they ask you for your documents, and then they say, okay, now go back and take another number, and you go to a different window, and then they go through all your documents as well there, and take your fingerprints, and then you wait again for some period. I think they call you up again one final time.
I'm tired already.
Yeah, and then finally you go to this last window, and they actually interview you while you're standing up.
So Anna had the benefit that being new there as an American citizen, she just passed the line because she went inside first with you because you were there with her.
Well,
otherwise she would have to wait for the turn.
Well, the only benefit was getting inside the building.
Yeah.
I think without me there, she would have probably waited maybe another 30 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it wouldn't have been much longer, but I think it was relaxing for her, less stress for her.
Я хочу спросить тебя по поводу, как был твой эксперимент там по поводу интервью в посольстве. Ты нервничал, ты подумал, что он можно спросить на меня, бюрократия, документ. Как получилось? Что ты думал и как настоящий был последний раз?
Ну, переживать не надо, потому что
There's no need to be nervous because everything is going to be alright anyway. I came there with my man, and that helped me a lot there to get in the building because to get there without a line is a benefit only of the citizens. Then a girl spoke to me there from the window asking me different questions about him. Is it my boyfriend? How long have we been dating? Did we go to vacations together? And also they asked if I speak English and how much he makes, but that I unfortunately didn't know.
Ты не знала, сколько он зарабатывает, да? Молодец.
Well done.
Не нужно. Ну и как был эксперимент там самый последний момент, когда закончилось это интервью? Как ты чувствуешь себя?
ну, в конце...
In the end, they gave us the paper where it said approved, and we were very happy.
И как твоя доченька, как она?
My daughter is also very happy that she is going with us to America with a new father.
Ты боишься твоей новой жизни?
Мы все,
5000
наверное,
миль
немного
далеко.
боимся. Ну, мы же едем, я еду, например, туда, чтобы быть рядом с любимым человеком.
Что ты чувствуешь по поводу твоей семьи, которая стоит здесь? Это тяжело для тебя?
Но они счастливы за меня. Я буду им звонить, буду писать. Иногда Карлос говорит, буду приезжать.
Как я знаю, у тебя уже есть билет обратно.
Ну, мне повезло.
For people out there to understand that is not that easy, how long took to you since the day that you met Anna till today?
How long?
In time?
When I first met Anna?
Yes.
Till now?
Yes.
Well, we met last year, beginning of August 9th, and it's taken until this time. And I think it's actually fairly quick.
14 months.
It could take longer, and but we got lucky when we filed for the petition. It took less than a month for the petition to be approved.
Since you put the papers till having the interview, how long passed?
That was an additional, I believe, from middle of April till the end of September. So
5 months is
Yeah.
almost.
But I think you can have the interview much sooner, but there's other things that you need to do. I had to provide my financial records and things like that, and Anna had to prepare for her medical exam, and there's a bunch of other things that you have to do right between.
Okay. So 14 months was the time since you met till we are here with the K1 visa stamped on her passport.
That's correct.
How many times did you come to Ukraine?
To meet with Anna?
Yes. Counting the times that she went to meet you. Just give us a short brief for people. I put the question for people to understand that how many visits, how many times you were together till reach this point.
Well, it would make trips of a couple of weeks each trip, and after we first met in August, I came an additional, this is the fourth trip after, so our fifth meeting.
This is the fifth one.
Yeah.
One, as I know, she went there to meet you in vacation where she do not need visa.
Yeah, one of the trips was in Dominican Republic.
So these 5 visits include one.
Yes.
А что ты думаешь по поводу времени, которое он дал тебя, и он приезжал здесь с тобой? Был мало, лучше, если будет больше времени, или будет адекватно?
We met every 3 months, give or take, depending on his work, but not more than 3 months apart, because we couldn't be without each other more than that. And other cases it's wrong if a guy is coming once a half year, because it's too long to be without each other, and you just want to find out everything about the person, to get to know him, to get to know who he is, because you're going to move there to other country with him, and it's important to know the person and to know all these things. And to the guys who think that it's enough to come once and then come next time and the girl will marry you, this is wrong and it will not work this way.
Как ты себя чувствуешь по поводу, ты нашла новый, скажем так, папа, твоя доченька? Как друг друга, как ты видишь друг друга, твоя доченька с твоей на будущий муж?
When he came to see me for the second time, I decided to let him to introduce my daughter to him, and there was many funny stories. The next day they spent together alone, and Carlos understands Russian, and my daughter Lisa, she speaks Russian-Ukrainian mixture. So some things and some words he did not understand, and there were no such words in his dictionary. But still they managed to understand each other. They went to cafes, movie theaters, and they had a great time together. Then when I spoke with her about him, I asked her, what do you think about Carlos? And she said that he is a very kind and nice man, and my daughter's opinion is very important to me. When we were in vacation, Carlos gave me free time to just enjoy myself next to the swimming pool, while he was with Lisa together in the swimming pool playing, and he swims like dolphin, and she just sat on the top of his back and he was riding her. She can't wait for us to go there, because Carlos said to her that we will live in the place where there is a swimming pool, and she can't wait for that, to swim in that swimming pool together with Carlos.
I didn't say at the beginning that Carlos understands Russian and he can even speak. Not perfectly, but I also cannot, and I'm here for a long time, because it's really difficult. The question I wanted to put to you is that what is your opinion about if you didn't know any Russian at all, would it happen same way?
That's a difficult
Big
question.
pause.
It's a difficult question.
Yes, it is.
I think if it's meant to be, it should work out. But every relationship takes work. Every relationship that's worth being together is going to have difficulties. Not knowing each other's language is just an extra obstacle. It doesn't make it impossible. It might just take longer. I think because Anna did not speak English and I spoke Russian, allowed us to pursue the relationship and get over obstacles much
And call me last time.
quicker, call you less times. But had we not been able to communicate as effectively, I think it would have just required more trips and a lot longer. I think if a man comes here not knowing any Russian or Ukrainian, of course his chances will be better if he finds a woman that speaks at least some English. But it's not the most important thing. It's just one of the things that'll help. And you don't need to speak Russian or Ukrainian perfectly, but if you can read or understand a little bit, it'll help a lot.
Let's see what you have to say about that.
It would be harder, but it would still work because since the first meeting, we were feeling that it will work out.
So we have a victory. Lucy, one more. Be happy. Lucy.
Take more.
No, take it.
Macaroni.
Меня ты тоже будешь спрашивать на русском?
Я?
Да.
Да.
Хорошо.
Ты здесь
Now I
только
look really
красивая
short.
девочка. Мне нужно много поговорить.
Хорошо. Чем меньше, тем лучше.
Аня, ты теперь тут.
О, как большой теперь.
Теперь Алексу надо прямо сидеть. Так.
Все, готово?
Да. Да давайте уже быстрее. Я курить хочу.
О, окей.